Hi, good morning everyone. This is Karandeep Nagpal, one of the quant CMAT toppers for the exam held in February 2013. On behalf of Cat King, in this presentation we'll be talking about visual reasoning, the various types of questions that can be seen in the visual reasoning part in the CET exam and the concepts involved behind the same. Let's just have a quick look at what CET exam pattern looks like. Quantitative ability, number of questions 18. Comparison 5, data interpretation 20, data sufficiency 5, analytical puzzles 30, analytical reasoning 28, non-verbal reasoning 25, reading comprehension 32, verbal ability 18, verbal reasoning 19. The total question number of questions become 200 and the time allotted is around 150 minutes. We can see that when we divide the number of questions by the time we get approximately 45 seconds per question. This presentation would be all about enhancing your score in this non-verbal reasoning part, which already has a good weightage of 25 out of 200 questions. Now coming on to an important aspect of visual reasoning, that is why is it important in the Maharashtra CET exam. First things first, it has 25 questions out of 200 questions, which approximately gives you around 12.5% of your exam pattern based on only 3, 4, 5 types. It's a very unique question type which has open-ended thought processes coming from thousands of people, and but the solution being only on one track. It's very difficult to comprehend and time consuming just because it's an open-ended process and has no clear-cut concepts or no clear-cut thought processes involved amongst the students. It's kind of found difficult. It has multiple possible answers, again with that open-ended process coming into picture. It's avoided by all coaching institutes because it does not have a directional approach towards solving a particular question, and last but not the least, it's left by most of the students in the exam. Before we talk about visual reasoning and the types and the concepts involved, there's a certain thought that has struck my mind, which is success is the sum of all small efforts repeated day in and day out. And those small efforts in case of visual reasoning include completing the series, finding the missing figure, the odd one out, or the fill in the blanks, or finding the wrong figure, detecting the incorrect order, and analogy, that is the pair matching. Uh, the abstract reasoning questions are in the form of figures or designs or drawings or patterns. Language is no more a hindrance in answering these questions. The purpose of solving these questions is how well you understand the ideas without the usage of the language or numbers. To solve these questions, there are some invisible processes involved which are dependent upon the number of elements you have, rotation of elements, orientation, which is the parallel or the non-parallel lines, shaded or unshaded area, ratios of particular figures which can be observed over multiple figures at the same time, or blend of two or more processes at the same time, which can include a particular figure having number of elements and rotation being followed simultaneously. Now coming on to solving some examples based upon the types we've just seen, based upon numbers and based upon rotation. You can see the completion of the series part. A, B, C, D, E are base figures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are those figures out of which one has to follow E as the fth figure. Uh, in figure A, we have 5 circles shaded at the top. In figure B, 4. In figure C, 3. D, 2. E, 1. Ideally, F figure should have no circle shaded at the top, which leaves us with option number 4 and option number 5. A at the bottom has no circle shaded. B1, C2, D3, E4. Ideally, F should have 5 circles shaded, which gives fifth as the correct answer, and fourth option is eliminated. All in all, the next figure should be fifth in this case. Question number 2 is based upon rotation. As we can clearly see, there are two types of figures involved, a circle and an arrow. Taking the circle into consideration first, circle gets rotated by 90 degree in clockwise direction, again 19 clockwise direction, 19 clockwise direction, and 19 clockwise direction again. Ideally, it should be something like this in the next figure. While in case of an arrow, it gets rotated by 90 degrees in the other direction, that is the anti-clockwise direction, which should give us figure something like this to end up with, which is the third option. In this case, third is your correct answer, which should complete the series as F figure F. Next, let's try to solve question number 3. You can see there are 5 circles on top of figure A. 4 when it moves by 90 degree in clockwise. 5, 4, 4 again, 3, 3. Again, number of arrows 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. The next figure should ideally have 3 arrows and 2 dots. 3 arrows because there's a series being observed 1, 1, 2, 2, and the next figure should have 3 arrows, which is in the form of doublets. While in case of circles, it is 1, 4, 4, 3, 3. The next should have ideally 2 dots because it might also be in the form of doublets only. Where should the dots be and where should the arrows be? Arrow. From figure A, it moves 90 degree in clockwise direction in B. Again 90 clockwise, 90 clockwise, 90 clockwise. The 3 arrows should be this, this, and this, which gives you option 4 and option 5. Ideally, you should mark your answer as 5 just because you have 2 dots to be taken into consideration. Talking about the next thing, we have the new concept called find the missing figure, which is wherein you need to find figure C, which already has a question mark on it. Figure A has a circle. Inside a circle, it is a square. The inside figure goes outside and a new figure comes inside, which is in B. In case D, it's a pentagon that is being observed outside, followed by a trapezium inside. And in figure E, it's a trapezium outside and a hexagon inside. Ideally, in figure C, it should be a pentagon inside, which is option 2, option 3. With the pentagon inside, it should also have a triangle outside because the inside figure goes outside in the next figure. So your correct option would be option 3 because it's a triangle outside and a pentagon inside. Talking about the next step, which is finding the incorrect term in the sequence, we have 3 questions based on the same. This is question number 5, this is question number 6, this is question number 7. Talking about question number 5 to start off with, we have a chakra as the base figure. In figure 1, one part of the circle or one sector gets eliminated. You have 7 sectors. In figure 2, you have 6 sectors. In figure 3, you have 4. In figure 4, you have 5. In figure 5, you have 3 sectors. All in all, third, fourth break the sequence in between. If fourth would have been at the third place and third would have been at the fourth place, it should have been an ideal correct sequence. But just because the third figure breaks the sequence of eliminating one sector at a time, this is the incorrect figure, or hence option number 3 is your correct answer. Moving on to question number 6. In question number 6, we have certain set of arrows that are moving in random directions. What we can observe is that in the base figure, it's an arrow pointed upwards in the top left corner. Once it gets rotated by 45 degrees in clockwise direction, we get the first figure. From first to six, once the first figure gets rotated by 90 degrees in clockwise direction, we get the second figure. Once the second figure gets rotated by 135 degrees in clockwise direction, we get third figure. Ideally, once the third figure should have been rotated by 180 degrees in clockwise direction, we would have got figure 5. But just because there's a fourth figure in between, which breaks our sequence, fourth should have been the incorrect answer, incorrect term in the sequence, or the correct answer. Seventh question. Again, we have a chakra as a base wherein one sector is shaded. In figure 1, we have one sector shaded. In figure 2, we have two sectors shaded. In figure 3, we have 4. In figure 4, we have 3 sectors shaded. And in figure 5, we have 5 sectors shaded. Figure 3 clearly breaks a circle because clearly breaks a pattern because it has four parts of sectors shaded, which ideally should be three in this case. You get a fair idea about the finding the incorrect term in the sequence by it's primarily observed upon the numbers we get and on rotation. The next type is finding the odd one out in a particular set of equation. You have a base figure as well as a final figure at the same time. This is your base figure, this is your final figure at the same time. We have total number of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 9 11 leaves kind of a thing in this figure, while in case of the final figure we have 0.5 leaves. In figure 1 we have 9 leaves, in figure 2 we have 7.5 leaves, in figure 3 we have 5.5 leaves, in figure 4 we have 4.5 leaves, in figure 5 we have 2 leaves, and then 0.5 in the final. You can see that as a pattern is being observed, it is 11 9 7.5 5.5 4.5 2 and 0.5. Rather than this being a question based upon the figures, it is ideally a question based upon finding the odd one out in the series, wherein your series is 11 9 7.5 5.5 4.5 2 and 0.5. Let's take the case of the doublets being formed or the doublets being formed, 11 and 9 being one of them, 7.5 5.5 being one of them, 4.5 being and 2 being one of them, and 2 and 0.5. Or another case, the difference between 11 and 9 is 2, 9 and 7.5 is 1.5. As the series follows, 7 and 5.5 is again 2, 5.5, the next difference should be 4, which would have also linked to our 4 and 2 ka difference, which is 2, and 2 and 0.5 ka difference, which is 1.5. This figure wherein 4.5 leaves are there is the odd one out in this case. It should ideally have 4 leaves only. The next figure, you can see that there are 5 options. We had to find the odd one out amongst these. In the first figure, all sub figures are different in nature. Same goes for the second case, all sub figures are different. In third case, you can see that there are two similar figures observed. In fourth option, again all different, and in fifth option, again all different. So all in all, we have two similar figures observed in option number 3. So this is your odd one out in this case. The last part, that is the analogy part. We have questions based upon analogy, which is question number 10 being a very simple one. A rectangle having 3 circles somehow linked to it, and a circle having 3 rectangles somehow linked to it. Once it comes to a triangle having 3 L-shaped figures linked to it, and the next figure should be an L-shaped figure with 3 triangles linked to it, which should give you option number 1 as the correct answer. Question number 11, there are 5 pairs given. I'll just zoom in for you. There are 5 pairs of figures given. We have 6 figures and a letter in each figure. Option number 1 as well. Option number 2, 6 figures and a letter. Option number 3, 6 figures and a letter. Option 4 also. Option 5 also. We'll not go into figures concept because they complicate and they are different in each case to a certain extent. We'll take the case of the letters. In the first option, we have P and Q because we take letters because they are our soft corners, and we have been doing that A, B, C, D, E, so on, so on, so on since nursery times. P, Q are consecutive letters, so are A and B. D, F are not. Y, Z are again consecutive. M, N are again consecutive. So your odd one out in this case comes out to be option number 3rd because D and F are not consecutive alphabets. See, you've got a fair idea about what all CET exam can give you in that visual reasoning ka part, with the types of questions that can be seen and the concepts involved in the same. We've got some mocks prepared by JBIMS toppers and all. I'm graduates to say the least. You can have a look at our website www.catking.in. I would just like to mention कि जितना कठिन संघर्ष होगा जीत उतनी ही स्वाद लगेगी. So all in all, hard work has no substitute, and those little extra efforts that you put in every day to crack an exam will probably give you the boost on that particular day. For all those people who are looking forward to work sincerely towards CET exam, we'll be launching a 30-40 strategy very very soon, which would be to enhance your score by those 25-30 marks at the end to take your score to a 170 level from a 135-140 score. Thank you so much for being so patient while listening to the video. You can visit our website www.catking.in to have a fair idea about this CET as an exam, what questions are primarily seen in the exam, and what trends are being observed over a period of years. You can attend free workshops with CET toppers, JBIMS rank 1, 2, 3 across any centers in Andheri, Borivali, Powai, or Pune. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel Cat King, CATK in caps and ING in small, and we'll be launching 10-15 more videos for those bunch of people who are planning hard or trying to execute hard to make it to JBIMS, to say the least. All in all, this extra effort will differentiate you from that ordinary person to an extraordinary person on the whole. Signing off is Karandeep Nagpal on behalf of Cat King. Just to say once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel Cat King. Thank you so much.